Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so I'd like to welcome everybody to the second episode of Coffee with Coaches. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us today. Today, our guest speaker is Aaron Osberg. Aaron began drinking at 12 years old, and by 32 had become a daily drinker. And on the surface, he was thriving. He was winning public speaking contests through Toastmasters, as well as chasing his dream of becoming a world champion speaker. Behind the scenes, alcohol was quietly eroding his focus, his health, and his potential. Unlike many, Aaron didn't wait to hit rock bottom like I did. He chose a different path, quitting alcohol without rehab or traditional recovery programs, stopping for good on July 18th, 2018. In 2020, he took over a small Facebook group called Motivation to Quit Alcohol, growing it into a thriving global community of over 38,000 members. By combining his passion for performance, psychology, identity change, and personal growth, Aaron developed something called the DARE framework. It's a science-backed method that helps career-driven parents and professionals reset their relationships with alcohol through identity-first habit change. He's currently building the Sober in 6 method, which is an AI-enhanced sobriety coaching system designed to help people reset, rewire, and reclaim their lives without hitting rock bottom. His growing body of work includes his first 2 books, Dare to Be Sober and Kickstart Your Comeback, and then the upcoming Sober in 6 book and masterclass, which form the foundation of his larger Sober Morning Reset 30-day challenge and the 6 Sober Habits ecosystem. Today, Aaron is on a mission to redefine sobriety as a performance upgrade, not a punishment. Through his writing, coaching, and online platforms, he empowers thousands of people to break free from the habit of drinking and building strength, clarity, and confidence one sober morning at a time. Well, welcome, Aaron. That's a beautiful introduction. And my name is Chad Marteney, and I'd like to introduce Mr. Aaron Osberg.
Hello, good morning. Thanks for having me. It's nice to meet you too.
So, welcome to the Coffee with Coaches. Welcome to the Breathe with Coaches room and our little extension of a bunch of group of coaches that went through Richmond Din's Tiny Challenge, as well as certified pro coaches.
Okay.
So these guys deal with all kinds of different things, and one of the things I deal with is relapsing alcoholics, chronic relapsing alcoholics. So these are the people that have already hit rock bottom a couple, 2, 3, 4, 10, 12, 15 times and just can't seem to break free.
Okay.
And traditional recovery, traditional methods do not seem to be taking for them. So I thought it was a great opportunity to introduce you, as well as having a little bit of conversation about some of the things that you're doing in the world of recovery, as well as the world of coaching. So
sounds good.
I sit down each week with incredible coaches like you from around the world. So guys, everybody just grab your mug and let's get into this. So tell me just a little bit about your background, how you ended up getting into that industry, and kind of what brought you here to Coffee with Coaches today.
Sure. Well, my name is Aaron Osberg. I'm the founder of Sober in 6. I help career-driven parents reset their relationship with alcohol using identity-based habits, because if we don't change an identity level, then we're never gonna fully change. That's one thing that really helped me, was going from trying to quit drinking to finding out what I actually needed underneath and eliminating that need to drink, which is 2 different things, I think, personally. So but like a lot of the people that you're talking about in their relapse, like I was stuck in that cycle for 18 years. I started drinking at 12, and alcohol always became something that I thought I needed. I thought it made me more confident, and I kind of connected that to my personality. And, you know, I went through my teenage years. I was in a punk rock band and all that stuff. So the music scene and all that things really got me into drinking as well. And I dropped out of high school. at the time, and it caused a lot of problems for me. But when I was 27, me and my wife had my first daughter, and that was kind of the thing that was like, okay, I need to change something. So right, so I got this might date my age, but I got Tony Robbins, those little cassette tapes.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
listened to many.
yeah. Unlimited Power. I got that at a thrift store. And I popped it into the Walkman back in the day, and I listened to that, and it really showed me for the first time that I can change my life. I have power over this, those kinds of things. So I did start changing my life, but alcohol was still kind of behind the scenes. I thought I could just push it to the weekends and stuff. So for the first time in my life, I was actually moving forward and doing things. I decided to go to Toastmasters. And they had this public speaking contest. I don't know, World Championship of Public Speaking. You might know that, right?
Yep.
So I decided to jump in and try it, and I started winning contests and stuff. But it was just alcohol was still just behind the scenes. It was really kind of an integrity issue too, right? It's like I'm telling people to live their lives and all this stuff on the outside, but on the inside, I was struggling with alcohol, and eventually became a daily drinker. I was probably pretty close to becoming physically dependent. And one day I was sitting there and I was thinking, hey, maybe I should just quit drinking, right? And I had this thought come back to me, maybe you should just end it all. Maybe you should just end your life. And because I had 2 kids at the time, my wife, everything was great on the outside. That thought really, really, really scared me. And I decided that that was it. I guess that was my rock bottom moment. I still had money. I still had, a family. I wasn't divorced, but that was like Tony Robbins says, it's like a breakthrough can happen in a moment. That's the shift that just like I need to change. But I looked in the world and I saw, like, I have family members that were in AA. I have people that are traditional recovery. And because all things I was learning in personal development, I knew how important mindset was. And I didn't want to label myself an alcoholic. And I just didn't want to do those things. So I had to kind of look into personal development, like habits and those kinds of things. And I created my own path and I haven't looked back. So that was 7 years ago. And now people kept asking me, well, how did you do it? How do you do it? And I really had to look back and say, okay, if I really look at it, this is how I did it. And that's where Sober and Six was kind of born. Did more research into habits and things like that. So we're really all about identity level change, habit change. Because the one thing that really helped me a lot was realizing that it's just a habit with an addictive substance laid on top. So once I saw that, it wasn't me, it wasn't my problem, I wasn't diseased. It was just a habit that I could change, and there's this addiction laid on top. And once we understand that, when we understand the habit loop and the addiction loop that goes around it, then we can move forward. And it's been really helping people. It helped me. So that's kind of my story.
Excellent, excellent. What brought you to our Coffee with Coaches?
Well, you are part of your Facebook Messenger group. I saw you wanted to have people on. I'm trying to get the message out there too. So I like what you're doing with the breathe protocol. I think that's kind of cool. So I thought, hey, let's have a chat, and I'm trying to get the message out there and stuff. I'm just starting to build this business this year, so I'm just trying to get everything out there and connect with as many people as I can. And it's awesome to see other people too, because I think like there's this one straight line for recovery for so long that it's just like we need other voices out there, right?
What's the biggest internal shift that you help them create? Not just the outcome, but the mindset or belief that has to change first. What's the first thing that you target with your clients?
Well, the first thing I would say is that understand that quitting drinking and eliminating the need to drink is 2 different things.
Right.
Because most people, like even in my Facebook group, I need to quit drinking. I need to quit. Okay, cool. But your life is still there. You know what I mean? So you can just remove alcohol from your life, and it's going to come back, or another habit's going to come back and replace it, right? So you have to have something to replace that. So it's definitely the difference between quitting drinking and eliminating the need to drink, and you have to uncover what those needs are that you're trying to fulfill with alcohol. A lot of times it's stress, anxiety was for me, social anxiety. It could be a reward system, especially high achievers. We need rewards. We don't reward ourselves enough with other things. So we try to use alcohol as a reward, right? So those are kind of the traps you get caught in. So we kind of uncover those, kind of the loop, and uncover what's really underlying there. And then I have something called sober switches, which is a habit or something that you can switch out for alcohol. So whatever you're needing, you switch it for whatever sober switch you have, which is the 6 sober habits in general. So
Gotcha. I like
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I like it. And so you're targeting clients that were more in your situation where they haven't
yeah,
went to the dumpster.
yeah.
I was in jail and institutions. I was in the hospital
Excuse me.
several times, almost died. So
Mhm.
I get it, right?
Yeah,
And if I would have had anything other than AA to look at outside of it, knowing that for the last 12 years of my life, I've been studying epigenetics, neuroplasticity, the relationship between the mind and the heart and brain coherence, and how that alcohol is a conditioned response, as well as it then becomes, it's all socially acceptable.
yeah,
And the truth is that alcohol never did anything for me, really.
yeah.
And that quitting drinking was definitely not as near as hard as I was fucking brainwashed into believing.
Yeah,
And back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they call it the revolving door in AA. And you sit there for a while and then you think, my God, this isn't really working. And then I started doing the research on the biggest recovery program on the planet. And only 7% of the people that ever go into it ever hit 5 years of complete sobriety, ever.
that's crazy.
7%.
That's insane.
The people I work with, we're running about 90.
Yeah,
And we don't change. There's no meeting. You don't need a meeting. What do you want? What do you want to sit around and talk about the problem for?
yeah. Let's get to the solutions, right?
Correct. Then let's stay
Yeah,
there. So
yeah.
how has your work changed your clients' lives in ways that you did not expect?
Well, I see a lot of people, getting their relationships back. That's a really cool thing to see, um, and just changing their mindset on alcohol in general. Like it gives you nothing. Like you said, it gives. There's nothing you need. Like there's no. And most people think that they come in thinking it's normal to drink alcohol. Like I'm abnormal. There's something wrong with me, and they come out saying, the world is messed up. You know what I mean? It's like it's not me, other people, and like especially with entrepreneurs and things like that. It's like also they're getting their edge back, right? Because it's like
Right.
everything's so competitive, especially with AI and everything coming in. Like people really need to get that edge back, and even like a couple drinks. Someone out there's not drinking at all, right? So if you're in business or whatever, you're a high performer of some sort, like someone else is not drinking. Someone else is waking up earlier than you. Someone's not drinking and they're out there kicking ass. And even if you have that slight little, couple drinks at night, that's still adding to your performance that, next day you're going to wake up a little groggier and you're getting behind. So I think the performance part of it, and also see a lot of families coming back together and realizing that, yeah, their relationships are messed up, but they can rebuild that and stuff. That's really cool to see people
Yep.
start rebuilding their lives out. And that's why Sober Six as a whole, my kind of vision for it is as like a sober living system. It's not just going to leave you there without alcohol, right? I want you to, rebuild your life and get better things back, and and treat alcohol as being alcohol free as an advantage in your life, and keep it that way so that you can go out there and improve your life as a whole, instead of just stopping drinking and then just leaving you there for you to figure it out.
So that perfect client for you, what would be 2 or 3 things that you would like if you could etch it into their conscious awareness, like literally like etch it into that subconscious mind? What would be 2 to 3 sentences that you would want that person to take with them if they never saw you again?
Well, I would say in one sentence, alcohol is giving you nothing in return. It's the worst friend ever. It's one of those friends that says, "Oh yeah, I'll be there for you," and they just take, 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 and they never give you anything back on your life. And once you realize that, because I think a lot of us have these relationships with addiction or alcohol, whatever it is, and we think it's our friend, it's giving us something. Like you said, I'm doing that again. I'm hanging out with that, I want to be that person again, and it's not. That's fake. It's false. And even if you might feel like you're having a fun time, you're confident, but if you had a camera on yourself, like I always think of this too, I wonder what I would actually look like if I had a camera on myself when I was drinking. I'd probably realize that I was repeating myself, I was acting like an idiot, I was saying stupid things. So if that's what you want, you think that that's this confident person, but it's not. And you
Right.
can have confidence. You can go out there. There's better ways to find the things you need in life without alcohol. And yeah, there's going to be short-term discomfort. You're going to be uncomfortable and awkward, and you're going to have to rebuild it. But it's totally worth it. And like I kind of relate it to, there's a drunk version of you and a sober version of you. This drunk version of you is groggy, doesn't show up, and you think subconsciously you think, oh, it's confident, they're confident, they're fun, they're exciting. But if you look at it, they're not. That's not the person you want to be. You want to step into that sober version of you who's actually confident with real authentic confidence. You can have authentic connections. You can do these things, and it takes time and work. But once you get there, it's way better, and you'll realize that alcohol has never gave you what it said it was going to give you.
No.
And once you realize that, I think it's game over. And also that alcohol is actually a poison as well, as one of the number one. People don't realize it too, that it's a poison, and they have to put, sugary stuff in it for you to drink it. So like, what's the point? You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, the alcohol industry is a $2.2 trillion juggernaut.
It is.
As a coach, every coach hits their growth ceiling at some point. What
Mhm.
challenge or belief are you currently breaking through as you take your business to the next level?
Well, I think one of the big things is like, I've never had any traditional training. Like I'm not a psychologist. I'm not, trained that way. And so I think that's a lot of this, because I'm like, just recently, because I was kind of wondering, like, how did I actually do it? So I've been coming up, like, looking, researching on habits and things like that. And I'm learning a ton of stuff, and I'm like, okay, how do I know this, but other people don't, you know what I mean? So I'm really coming up with like this, I guess it's the subconscious block of like, maybe, I don't have the training, those kind of imposter syndrome things
Yeah.
always pop up for me. But as I get forward and I'm helping people, I'm like, okay, this is actually helping. So, it's kind of going away. But I think that was one of the things I struggle with, is imposter syndrome for sure. Plus I was a high school dropout and stuff too. So it's like, now I'm in this world of addiction and science and all these things. And it's just, yeah, it was one of the things that popped up in me for sure, was like that imposter syndrome.
Yep. Yep. I've got a coach right now that he started to apply the Breathe protocol to the exact same problem. We found out what the original event was. And he's in the last 2 weeks, he has skyrocketed into more of the identity of $1 million coach,
Yeah.
right? Affecting the lives of, in his case, it's divorced men who are trying to rebuild their life,
Yeah.
and the disconnections and all that kind of stuff. So what he's doing is very, very, very powerful, but he was frozen, literally frozen, with this idea that people aren't going to listen, and people aren't going to pay me. This is never going to work. I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
All imposter syndrome. And, as coaches, we know that all we have to do is be one step ahead of the people we're coaching.
Yeah.
Which is a phenomenal identity and a phenomenal concept to believe in.
Yeah.
Is that if I'm helping somebody, I just need to be one step out of the hole to help them out of the hole.
Yeah.
So as I continue on in mine, so the identity shift happened for me using the Breathe protocol in about 4 weeks, where I literally, the self-talk had completely stopped. It was completely new. We were focusing on building a business and health. And so then as I'm aligning my intentions with my actions,
Yep.
then I start becoming more confident and more not listening to that shitty voice that's been hanging around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And I'm just so grateful that it was given to me. And I'll tell you, if that voice didn't hit that night, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
There's no way. So, what kind of questions do you have, or what kind of things would you like to say as we kind of wrap up our little coffee with coaches here?
Um, I just like to anybody who's listening out there that's either helping people with addiction or maybe they have a drinking problem or whatever. I would just say find whatever works for you. Maybe it's Chad, maybe it's me, maybe it's someone you resonate with, but I think we need more voices in this world of addiction and drinking and recovery, because so many people are just like, I have to do AA, I have to do it, and it keeps you stuck. And I think so many people are falling through the cracks and dying. If you like, we want to be serious about it, like they're dying from alcohol or whatever addiction because they thought that was the only path, that was the only way out. There's so many different ways to do it. Maybe you like to have identity level change and habit loops and you like learning about that. Maybe you want to use the breathe protocol, but whatever it is, find what works for you, find a coach that works for you or someone to help you, and just keep trying until you get there. And even if you slip up or make a mistake, one of the biggest mindset that I had is every failure is just a lesson you can learn and move forward, because you get caught in that screw it trap of, oh, I messed up, I had a drink. And especially if you're an AA or something, right? Now you have to start over. I see it all the time in my group. I have to start over. I've had like 100 days sober and I have to start all over. And it's like,
okay, if you're really going after sobriety, do not count the days.
No, it's crazy.
It's an ego problem.
Yeah, like we have 30-day challenges and stuff, but I'm really not into counting days. Like it's all about mindset and uncovering, and having a slip up is part of the process sometimes. And you as long as you can see why it happened, kind of look at it objectively and carry on, then you're going to move forward. Because like I tell my son, we win, we learn, right? So yeah, and just find what works for you and get out there and just try it. Being alcohol free is one of the biggest advantages I've had in my life. And it can definitely help you in your relationships, your health, your wealth. Everything it's not going to be an overnight thing. You're going to have all sorts of roadblocks and it's going to be awkward, but over time it's the best investment you can ever make in your life. So no, I don't think so. This was an awesome experience. It's just awesome to see other people, because we all have different ways of going through the world and the ways that we came to sobriety and stuff. So it's just amazing to see. Your story is amazing too, going from like complete rock bottom to where you are today. It's just inspiring. I didn't hit that point, and I hope that I can help people before that. But
yes, me too.
It's amazing. And yeah, I really hope you get out there and inspire people too, because people need to hear your story as well, because it's awesome.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Well, for now, thank you so much for being a host or a guest on our show. What I'll do in the editing of the video is this is where we'll transition into your credits. Like,
okay,
where are we going to go to get, where's your Facebook group? How do we get your books? All that kind of stuff.
Okay,
so
cool.
That's in the video itself. But if you want to go ahead and plug it, I would love for you to go ahead and plug your stuff.
Okay. You can find my books on Amazon, Kickstart Your Comeback, or the Dare to Be Sober book. You can find me on Facebook, Motivation to Quit Alcohol. My Facebook page is just my name, Aaron Osberg. And you can also get more at soberand6.com/kickstart. It's kind of the beginning 7-day email series that's going to get you kickstarted and help you kind of get into my world and see what we do. So
awesome. Well, thank you again, Aaron, so much. We will be in touch very soon
cool.
about offering the class to your group and how we promote that, for a week or two before we actually do it, so that we get the maximum effect that we're looking for.
Yeah. And just that group, I've noticed like a lot of it's the very anti-coach for some of it.
Right.
So, but yeah, we'll figure something out, and definitely. Yeah, I've had a hard time because there's so many limiting beliefs that people have, and just like, but yeah, we'll get in there and we'll share it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate your time, Aaron. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Happy Sunday to you. Have a great week, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Chad.
Thank you.